Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fairy Godmother Gaming World. I'm your host, the Scribe. Today we're going to be going over pixel art, colors, animations, and all that fun stuff on how one would go about making pixel-based games. Now, they're not too hard to go into or hard for anybody to start working with. In fact, I think they're one of the easiest segues into getting into making video games, just because you can work with a lot of um, programs that are already preset with certain things. A lot of times you do have to draw them, but there's a lot of tutorials and free, cheap, and expensive art programs out there that you can use. Now, before I do get into these programs, I do want to thank our sponsor, Magic Feet Compression Socks. If you're going to be walking around or sitting down for some time, they're great to put on to keep blood circulation going. Let's go ahead and get started with this awesome game. So this game is an independent title. It's free on Steam. It's called Grimm's Hollow. It was released on Halloween, which I think is such a great thing when games have themes and they release on dates that are also with themes. That works really well, and things can help it spread a lot faster like that. Where it's like, oh, it's Halloween, and this is a spooky Halloween game, it's free, why not, right? So great on them for working on something like that. So I will say, before we do get into the game itself, I want to talk a little bit about the title screen. It's very simple, it sounds nice, like even that sounds really well. So even though it's pixel based game, I know a lot of people always think of 8-bit, just only 8-bit, so that means the music has to be 8-bit. Not really. I prefer when it's not, just because you can get a lot of cool combinations of different types of art that's going on, so it's really nice. And you can see on the character in the background, while it still has the pixel aesthetic to it, how they go about drawing the pixels and the transparency on it and the types of shades of purple that they use works really nice, so it makes it look a little bit smoother. Now we'll go into the purple for a bit, but we'll go ahead and start the game before I go into the colors. So I'm gonna do casual. I'm just gonna focus on the story for this game. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain a little bit about the colors in this room. The great way to make sure that things don't blend in too well is using different colors, of course, but we're gonna ignore the balloons at the moment. The different shades of purple, still keeping the aesthetic of purple on the characters in the background, but every color of purple is different, which is really nice. That's also really important to keep in mind, because if you depending the theme and the mood that you want to portray, if the colors are too dark and muddy, it might make it seem more drab and dreary. But we can see in this one that the colors pop out really nice. Oh, the line art looks really good. I don't even think they're using black unless it's the balloons, which is really interesting that they've done that, because a lot of games that do work with pixels, not all of them, but they do tend to use black outlines, which can make it pop more, and it works well for these balloons. But sometimes those type of lines might be just too harsh. It might start to convey a different emotion that you want the player to feel. We can already see this with the humor. We can see this with the other sprites, that even though they're skulls on them and Grim Reaper robes, the style of them, the colors of how everybody looked, it was really nice to see that you can take something that's pretty dark in theme, but you can still make it lighthearted and fun. And I really like the bright colored balloons that are very in high contrast, that they stick out very well in comparison. It doesn't blend in. They didn't use purple balloons, they didn't use dark blue balloons or anything like that. They're bold and they stand out, which is really nice. Let's see. Oh, so that's kind of cute. I will say the walk animation is interesting, but you know what, it works. It works really well. Like, I like how it looks going down and going up. Going down looks better than going up, but that's okay. Walk animations are not easy to do, so that's cool that they actually have one. Okay. I love the ghost. I love that it's not a shade of purple. It's different shades of blue. It starts to convey a different meaning. If you guys were here during Obzu when I was going over the colors in there as well, depending the situation, blue can be calming, elegant, serenity, and all that stuff. Now, depending what's going on, like right now, we can see that this blue is starting to be a different emotion. It's sad, it's depressing, it's dealing with death. We can see it in the talking sprite, and then on screen we still have these bright blue balloons. It starts to almost like contradict one another. It's really nice.